in a more open poly, situation like I've described, the kitchen table poly, I like the fact that it feels familial, right? And with families come children. A lot of people have children in particular, and so, I've dated with people with children, and some of those people with children have had other former partners that they had those children with, so they don't necessarily see eye to eye on the poly stuff or even know about it. So that becomes a big thing, is how do you deal with, well, I mean, if it's a really estranged sort of thing that they have with their ex-partner, how do you deal with estranged partners who don't agree with think it's bad for the kids? And again, that is not assuming that you're having orgies in front of the kids. That's not what happens. Nobody is suggesting that, but just the sense that, this kid can see you walk through the house and kiss one partner and kiss somebody else and show love and affection as parents would normally do, but to more than one person. And that doesn't make sense in the rest of the world, but it does in your family. And so that, and there have been people who've had their kid, had gone through huge custody battles over their kids, being exposed to this stuff, because, again, puritanical society and everything.
Right.
And so that became a big, this is all in an effort to explain. That was the main central drama generating source in one of my more recent relationships.
Yeah.
And it became a fight all the time. Like, you have to, like, even though her kid had seen a lot, knew that, had to have been aware that we were in a, maybe didn't have the terms for it, poly relationship, but knew that it was I had other romantic interests, and so did she, and she got uncomfortable with that and needed to kind of not let that be a thing, let that be a visible thing, certainly not let his dad see that.
Right, yeah.
And so that became a major conflict where, like, every week it was trying to figure out how to have, a significant date time or whatever with somebody in my house or somewhere else, because it wasn't, because there was a kid here half time. So that became a source of drama and arguments and stuff. But I will argue that that's not about poly per se. It's about people not being able to have the communication skills and have the empathy, understanding, and being on the same page with one another to work to get through the scheduling nightmares and try and really say, okay, look, this is what you want out of life. This is what I want out of life. Let's find compromise. We tried many times, but it was, and that's what a lot of poly problems boil down to. Is when you break it down, it doesn't necessarily it's not necessarily poly problems. It's just that you don't see eye to eye on certain things with certain people.
It's just a interaction relationship problem.
It is, and I think monogamous people can have those same problems when and maybe it's, again, if the argument was about a kid's exposure to a poly lifestyle or something like that, and somebody not agreeing with that, that's not a problem with poly. That's a problem with their ideals, not matching up. So.
Right. Yeah, for sure. So that's definitely a huge source of drama.
It can't be. Yes. I've lived through that one.
Yeah. Not okay. Hold on a second.
So,
let me see what's happening here. Cool.
Let me know if I'm rambling on too much about any one
subject. Oh no, you're good. I want to capture whatever you gotta say.
I hope you edit out the really ridiculous parts.
I'll try.
Okay.